Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a review of Luthier, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. Luthier is a 1 to 4 player competitive game with a solo mode where you are trying to build instruments, perform, repair instruments. You'll have worker discs that you'll put face down on different actions, and the numbers will determine both the success of the actions in some cases and also the initiative with other players. And the main thing you're trying to do across 6 rounds is to find patrons of the art and please them by making the kinds of instruments they enjoy. So let's discuss 5 key things to know about Luthier. So first, at number 5, the least important to know, but still important or I wouldn't mention it, is a mix for my taste, and that's the variety in goals and objectives from game to game. You have a whole bunch of end-game scoring goals that'll change up what you're focused on, as well as getting personal goals at the beginning of the game that'll push you in different directions. So that'll make you focus on repairs some games, performances others. But when you get down to it, at least in my experience, this is one of those Euros where you tend to do a little bit of everything, even though you might focus in one direction. So there is some good variety, but the gameplay is not going to be drastically different play to play. Next, number 4 is the solo mode, and this is a full pro for my taste with some caveats. How the solo works is you'll have these action cards for the bot as well as their workers, which are randomly shuffled, and these will determine which actions the bot is going to perform, and they'll place the random workers on the matching spots. And all that is a bit random and swingy. Sometimes the game can punish you more or less. But putting that concern aside, they have a really clever system where as they do these actions, they will move these tokens up and down, which can boost their actions, and it also means that if they don't do an action for a while, eventually they'll just get to do it for free by this advancing all the way off the track. So the bot has some swinginess, but it tends to self-balance, and it provides a consistent challenge that you can kind of mess with in a really smooth playing system. I like it a lot. Next, at number 3, I'm looking at the resource management in the game, and that's a full-on pro as well. You have several different resources you're collecting, the actual goods you use to build instruments and repair them, money you can spend on various things, inspiration that can help you with performances, but also with repairs, and you also have apprentices that can boost your workers, let them achieve greater things. And like the best Euros with their resources, you are pulled in multiple directions for these because you can only hold so many of these resources, and you want to repair with them, but you want to build with them, but you can also sell them for money based on the changing market value. That money can buy you the apprentices, can buy you more resources. The inspiration can get you discounts, but you might want to save it for your performances. And there are just lots of meaty, delicious decisions in how you spend all of these, how you manage them. It's a great aspect of the game. My number 2, another full-on pro, is the worker initiative system, and this is really cool. So during the planning phase, each player takes their workers. You start out with only 3, but you get more as the game progresses, and you go around the table taking turns placing a single worker on different action spaces. You can even double place, and you can place on top of each other, and then they're revealed, and their different initiative values determine who goes first. So somebody might have placed earlier, but you might have a higher number, so you'll get to resolve the action first, and then certain values also give you bonuses when you resolve the action. So the puzzle of where to put your workers, when to put them out to try to compete with other players, when to use apprentices to boost their value and get that little extra bonus. All of this is a great spin on classic worker placement and adds a bit of tension and obfuscation to the general gameplay. Finally, my number 1 point, the most important to know about the game, which is a full-on pro but with some big caveats, is the actual task completion. So as I said earlier, the core idea of the game is you're trying to get these art patrons who will give you free stuff just to kind of hang out with them and make instruments for them. They are waiting for you to complete instruments that match their goals, waiting for you to do repairs that match the things they want to see, or waiting for you to do big performances. And if you can do enough, if you can satisfy all of their requirements, then you score the patron. You also get an ongoing bonus for the rest of the game. So this gives some of the combo feeling into the game. It gives an evolving sense of power. And it also gets into something that I loved in Distilled, the previous game from this company, where you have to work for a while to achieve something, but it has a huge effect when you do. It's not like you're fulfilling a patron every single turn. But although I love this, I do want to call out my one big caveat, which is card draw luck. You'll have certain cards in the offer each round, and players can jockey for position. That's where a lot of that initiative with workers is going to come in. And some of the cards will cost extra money. You can even dig into the deck, although it's incredibly expensive. But sometimes you'll need a certain type of patron, and they just won't come out. Sometimes you'll need a certain type of performance, and it's deep in the deck. Same thing for instruments. points. Now again, you can pay a lot to dig for whatever you need, and you can see what's in the offer as well as what type is on top of the deck, so you have a decent amount of information and can try not to put yourself in situations where card draw luck is going to determine your success. But at the same time, I think this will frustrate some players who are trying to focus on the strategy of the game and just get some bad pools where they have to wait for the things they need to complete their patrons. But back to a big pro for this point, just to finish things out, there's also this cool mechanic where you are fighting over the first chair of the orchestra. So as you complete those repairs and those performances and build instruments, you'll fill in these chairs. They get you immediate bonuses, but at the end of the game, they can mean big victory points, especially if you jockey with your opponents. Just a cool extra aspect to the game that encourages more interaction between players. So overall, you might want to check out Luthier if you like heavy Euro games, if you enjoyed Distilled, since this one has some of that similar big project completion feel to it, or if you like smooth playing solo Euros, the system here is great. But on the other hand, you might want to avoid this one if you hate luck elements because sometimes the card draw can affect your success, or if you only like Euros where there are drastically different strategies to pursue each time, you kind of do a bit of everything here. And if you want to see the game in action, my preview play is still up, and the final version of the game is pretty much identical, so you can go watch that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.